Hello everyone and welcome to QualityOldGames. Today we are having part 7 of the Eastern Infantry only campaign in rometotalwar. And I think the most important question for us at the moment is what to do with this army here. And of course with the army in Kotais. So, should we move against Artaxarta with this army? I'm not fully convinced that we might be able to take it. And of course here the question is, should we move against Salamis? And here of course, should we move for example against Masaka or Sinope? And these are not at least two easy questions. So both Jerusalem and Sidon are rather strongly garrisoned. There are many Egyptian armies nearby. So perhaps it's wisdom to try to take Salamis, for instance. And in order for us to do so, we need to free up some resources so that we can make a trireme or bireme. Perhaps trireme it's so much better than trireme that we will go with it. And I don't think we want to waste any time with this army either. So let's take the troops and start. I think we just need to be opportunistic. And of course we want to have ceasefire with the Scythians. So let's move against Pontus. And let's hope that Antioch doesn't get besieged. Okay, I would really like to preserve my troops, and this is rather higher quality army than we are having, so let's try to pull back. Oh. So much for pulling back. Well, we don't have any options, so let's hope the terrain is favorable, and of course we have our general, so that's at least something going for us. And okay, so there is some elevation here, so I guess we could be able to pull this off in a corner battle. Okay, so there are those chariot archers. Perhaps we don't want to go to have a missile exchange with them. So let's head to the corner with the general as well. And by the way, the series here is a thank you series for 1000 subscribers. So thank you for every one of you who has subscribed. This has been a great journey this far, and I think it will be a great journey from this onwards. Thanks to you. Oh, and as in corner battles, I think we should put the units in guard mode. And then let's see what the Egyptians do. Let's hope they actually kind of blunder there, or the AI cannot move against us or something, so that we could win the battle without casualties. But let's see what happens. Okay, so they seem to be coming at us. Okay, I think the battle will be soon joined. Hopefully these guys will be tired. And of course the worst case scenario is that they will stay back and shoot all their ammunition at us before moving to engage. But apparently they are not doing so. They are at least winded, perhaps tired as well, or very tired, so we might have rather decent chances against this army. And let's hope the chariots will charge first, but apparently they are not going to do so. But the desert axemen are leading the charge here. Perhaps we should try to do some culling there. So they are wavering. Let's hope they break soon. Okay, good. Then let's hope these Nubian spearmen will break, as they are already wavering. And the chariots are actually charging us. Okay, they are breaking. Good. And there seems to be some kind of rout going on. So I think it's time to start pushing. Don't go to the chariots. Okay, so actually the chariots are moving to engage us. And that might actually break them. So actually the battle went quite well.
As enemies, these men are perfect. They are running from the battle in terror.
And with some luck, we actually managed to wipe out the enemy army. Well, not likely, but it's a crushing defeat for the enemies in any case. And here... Okay, so they have quite a few chevrons. And I doubt that we can take down that factionaire. Oh. Another rather strong enemy army. But at least the terrain is favoring us. Let's actually see if we could hit that Pontic heavy cavalry head on. And take down the enemy general. Apparently not, but perhaps we could throw some javelins so that... Okay, apparently we are more in the receiving end here. Well, that wasn't one of my brightest plans. That's... Is it phalanx pikemen? Yeah, that's the most dangerous unit. So perhaps we want to punch through these hillmen, then turn right and hopefully actually break these guys before that. And... I guess we should go before that enemy general starts peppering us with the javelins. Okay, good. They're routing. Then let's turn right. Okay, so much for that. So now it seems that we are the one in the middle of the enemies here. And I guess the whole army will rout sooner rather than later, so let's hope that the general will rout as well, and we won't be losing the whole army. Well, at least the general survived, but not much else. Yeah. Well, with some luck we will have a defeat and this army will retreat to Antioch. But that's not much. We actually lost quite a lot of troops here. And with this we want to hit the chariots first, okay. So we want to get routed ASAP. And actually the general survived. And we got to Antioch, okay. I guess it's somewhat telling at least that the goodness of the battle is estimated by how well we lose the battle. Okay, so next turn, perhaps this turn, we should move there, so we can stay there, and next turn we can besiege Salamis. And the army here is marching forwards. Can we actually hire some mercenaries? Yes, we can. Ingotais, let's train troops. And perhaps we should bring these troops from Tarsus to Antioch, just in case. Perhaps land clearance, it should pay itself back rather soon. And also increase the population growth, which is very important for us. And in Artaxarta, okay, golden chevrons, it seems we are not the only ones with those. By the way, how much is the upkeep of these? 150, and for the regular ones 150, okay, so no big difference there. And I guess we have a turn. Okay, so Antioch is besieged, and we have some Armenian troops incoming, and we have riots here. Fortunately, no buildings were damaged. And now the question is, what's the wisest course of action in here? I doubt that we can keep these. So is it wisest to pull back all the troops? Or perhaps we will just try to reinforce Arsacia. And it seems we have a plague. Well, that's nice. Okay, Snob is rather strongly defended. Masaka is not. So that will be a target there. And in Salamis the enemy has... Okay, they reinforced it. Of course they did. But then again... Sidon looks ripe for taking. Just wondering if he could take Salamis next turn and then make a lightning campaign against Sidon. Let's see. Okay, I guess we have a turn. I guess this is so clear defeat that we don't need to fight it. Oh. And so much for Masaka being lightly defended. Let's see if we pull back. Okay, that's not enough. Okay, so the terrain here is more favorable. Could we use the corner? Perhaps, and perhaps we should actually, because the enemy has those cataphracts. I have to admit that Some aspects of this campaign are becoming a bit irritating. Then again, this is a challenge. So, guard mode on. And of course, if we manage to beat this army, then Masaka should be rather open in front of us. And I don't think the enemy has missile units, so in that regard the situation should be rather good as well. So there are some chariots, some cavalry. Let's see what happens. If I review the campaign, I think I should have concentrated my forces a bit more, for example against Armenia. Because now we are paying the price of not wiping them out when we had the chance. I guess they have two rather full armies. We have some weaker armies as well. So I don't know if we could beat them with all of our troops gathered together, so we need to start some kind of guerrilla warfare against Pontus and against Egypt, and perhaps that way we could weaken them significantly enough that we could at some point at least out-survive or outlive Armenia and Seleucids, or then gather enough troops to wipe them out. So, it seems this Pontic heavy cavalry and those chariots are charging the borderline there. Let's see what these guys here are up to. Okay, so perhaps we will have a battle soon. If we can target fire, let's focus on the enemy general. And actually, I don't like that the chariots are getting this far. But perhaps the enemy general will go down soon. Or then not. Okay, so let's hope they inflict heavy casualties there. And I think it's time to get back into position. Well, at the very least those light cavalry units are taking some beating there.
The enemy
So this unit is in battle against something. Actually, I don't dare to charge out because of those enemy chariots still around, but let's see if we could snipe the Beltasts in here. So those are chariot archers, okay. Perhaps we will just charge. And let's try to keep out of the way of those chariots. And at the same time, inflict as much casualties as we can. Okay, so we are actually able to engage them. No, you are not to engage the chariots, but the fleeing infantry here. And actually perhaps these guys could take on those chariots so that we don't have to face them anymore. So it seems the enemy still has some units, and apparently not. And perhaps we are having another Golden Chevron General soon enough. And I think his tactical capabilities should have developed during this battle here. Okay. So, that was actually quite a decent battle. So we could have some additional troops. But I doubt it's enough. So it seems Seleucia will be besieged. Perhaps we should strive to keep Susa as our place of or base of operations. So I guess we have the spy somewhere around. So in Sidon there is only enemy general, so we need to attack there. And here Masaka actually have only quite few defenders, so that's looking good. So 6 units of Nubian spearmen, I guess. Yeah. And this guy is 63 years old already. And perhaps we want to bring the fleet here already, just in case. And of course the problem here is that the enemy has the city square available for them. So we want to engage as many of them as far away from the city square as possible. And let's not waste the javelins, at least just yet. I think we might... Okay, so much for that. I was thinking that we might be able to wipe these guys out before they reach the city center.
Now order them on and hound the enemy! Luck and the gods smile upon you. The enemy walls are breached. Take up the ram! Your soldiers and the battling ram are at the walls. Now comes the test of their courage.
So we want to get in
Show no mercy.
from all of these locations, and we want to practically circle those Nubian spearmen there. And perhaps we want to start peppering them right away. Okay, so if these are coming to engage, we want to pull back. And we want to hit them in the flank with the general. And the same goes for this. Here, I think we can spare this unit to be positioned there. Okay, so here we go. So this is the general unit. Oh, I didn't notice that. Hopefully that won't be causing too much troubles. Of course, if we break it and kill the general, that will be quite nice. And they are breaking. And I think now is our chance. Okay, and now if we just can run down majority of the enemy army here, this will be a clear victory. Okay, good. And let's hope that actually the enemy can come at least this far, because then we could actually wipe them out. Perhaps that's a bit too much to hope for. But if they are about to break, perhaps our general could do all the work required here. So they are shaken, wavering. And it seems to be a bit difficult to move to engage there. Okay, so these guys are winded. They can have a bit of a time to rest. So far so good. And let's try to do some form of encirclement there. Okay. So much for that. Or actually, perhaps this unit could go there. Okay, so I guess we should be able to beat them here. Okay, nice. And not too heavy casualties sustained either. So let's hope there is at least some population here. That seems to be the case. So we can actually train some new units. And now we want to use these troops. Let's actually put this one on the boat first. So we should be able to get into Sidon. Excellent. And here garrison strength is quite low, so I think next turn we should be able to handle the situation there rather well. And let's bring in the general first. and then the army. Phew. I thought that I blundered that.
Ready to sail. Wolves depleted, sire.
And perhaps we could raise taxes here a bit. And can we... Apparently we cannot train new troops because we don't have enough money.
Sire,
Perhaps next turn. So it seems we would be trading out these areas for a better foothold in these areas. I think it might actually be a rather decent trade, but let's see how this plays out. Okay. That's rather strong army, but we should be able to take out this family member first. And why didn't I keep the ship next to the shore? It would have been a rather good place to retreat. So, where is the enemy city? There. I guess the road leads to the city, so we should be able to take out the enemy general there, and once he has been taken care of, we should be able to... Oh, that's not good. Let's hope he doesn't have any bows. Of course he does. And because of that, I think we need to engage. To be honest, I'm not exactly sure what we should do. Perhaps we should position ourselves here so that our flanks are secured. That's rather a bad miscalculation.
enemy cowards, run! Drive them from the battlefield! We're being attacked! Quickly, forward, units! Move! At the top! The gods! The enemy general was a fool! He sacrificed himself rather than leading his men to a dignified defeat.
Okay. And it seems this battle at the moment is going in the worst possible way. Perhaps we should actually pull back. With some luck, the Sidon will be left undefended. And we are not losing our whole army, even though too much of it.
Our ships are under attack! Victory!
Well, that's an interesting attack.
Victory on my orders! Units! Units! March, General, quickly!
So, let's begin the harassment right away. Good.
Chase them from the field and give them no rest or pity!
One Desert Axemen unit less to worry about, even though they managed to inflict quite a few casualties on us.
Glorious victory!
That's quite a few missile chariots, and that's problematic. So my units have large shields, but still they are like sitting ducks against enemy missiles.
Hurry! Move out! Start and fight! Units!
I guess once again
Have arrived in battle!
the corner battle is our only real chance.
Awaiting your command!
If we win this battle well enough, I think Masaka will fall. But then again the question is, can we win this battle well enough? So 2 units of Eastern Infantry. I think they shouldn't do too well. Very good. And I think it's time to stay clear of those chariots. And to be honest, we are taking quite heavy losses at the moment. But let's see if we could take down the enemy general. And they are targeting our general, apparently. Perhaps we don't have any other choice except to charge at the enemy general. Good.
General has been killed. Now we will see the measure of his soldiers' courage. Move out. Orders completed, Great Lord.
And I think they should run out of missiles at some point. And I guess this is the point now. And once again. And I think it's really annoying if the enemy actually manages to break us in this battle. So we have one more enemy to deal with. And probably he has full ammo at his disposal. So let's bring those guys to the front and hope they take the brunt of the attack there. Yeah, they have arrows. And now, of course, the question is, do we have enough troops to actually take the city after this battle? Then again, it was the enemy who initiated the attack, so all we have to do is to wait. Which is a bit boring, but it should bring us the victory eventually. Perhaps I still need to count that Masaka will fall. And it should allow us to replenish all of these troops. And then regarding Sidon, perhaps I should just bypass it and get to the Egyptian mainland. And of course, while doing that, we need to unload the fleet every time we finish a turn, because it would be rather annoying or infuriating if we lost the whole army because some pirate navy attacks us and sinks the ship. So, 7 minutes still. And of course, I think all of those Egyptian cities there are quite rich. So we should have a decent enough loot from there, and we should have enough population to train as many Eastern Infantries as we like. And by capturing them, we should have enough money also to do the training. So, 3 minutes. Well, a victory is always a victory, even though this wasn't quite so good as I would have liked. Not nearly. So indeed ends the bloody business of the day. And second army. Okay, this time no chariot archers, but infantry and scythe chariots, perhaps defending a corner will work out well this time. Perhaps we could... Well, I guess it has to be the corner.
The enemy have brought up more men. Send them to the afterlife. Stand and fight, fire! Units! Double time! Mercenaries!
And let's hope there are not too many chariots coming to face us. I guess there is that one unit that got away in the last battle. Or that unit of chariot archers.
General! Fire at will! Attack! General! Kill them! General! Units! General, as you are! With all haste! With all haste!
Let's see if we could flank. Okay, good.
Enemies, these men are perfect. They are running from the battle in terror. Units, stop! Mercenaries, formation! Land forward! Units, infantry! Units, fire!
Okay, so they are coming back. Nice. And those are chariot archers supported by, I guess, Eastern Infantry.
On our way!
And fortunately, the majority of the enemy army is Eastern Infantry. And let's actually hope that the enemy doesn't have a third army hidden in somewhere. Okay, good. And perhaps they would like to withdraw. And now the question is, could we actually drive the enemy to fight against our troops? Okay. So much for me driving them. And finally they are starting to waste at least some of their ammo. And in this case we don't want to lose everyone from there, because we want to be able to replenish the units. And does that actually mean that the enemy has run out of ammo? That might actually be the case. So would they be willing to engage in melee? So they are already dismayed at the loss of the battle. So now we want to play, or at least try to play this smartly. Okay, that's a bit too close. Okay. So let's try to corner them. Actually, why I'm doing this and not just waiting for the time to run out is that I want the city, and if I wipe out this army, I think I will be able to get the city. So here it's crucial to let the enemy slip away. Okay, and I think the trap is set. Okay, so I think Masaka should be ours. Finally.
Soldiers have brought you a great and deserved victory. The enemy are crushed.
Well, perhaps not that great, but a victory nonetheless. And finally, something succeeded. Okay, so Salamis is doing great for the moment, and in Masaka we can retrain quite a few of these units, and then, well, perhaps not that Temple of Aphrodite isn't the best there is, but it's the one we have. And
Ready to sail.
perhaps
Sire. Aye, great lord.
let's see.
Set sail. My liege.
Okay, let's board the ship and go through Salamis, and then let's see what we are going to do. Here in the north, I guess we have no other options except to go to Susa, and I don't see too much reason to do much investment except for the walls here. And I think this is everything for today. So thank you very much for watching. If you like the content, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Feel also free to post comments, give advice, ask questions and so on. Have a great rest of the day. QualityOldGames out.